All right, now we've hit the live button, countdown chatter. This particular topic was pretty heated Sunday night and into Monday. I saw it kind of leaking into Tuesday. It might be a little lukewarm right now, but we got to talk about the NFL overtime rules. A lot of people felt that the Bills were kind of screwed out of a chance on Sunday night. Stoner has a solution, but Trevor, I'm going to go to you first. What do you think about the NFL overtime rules? Do you think they should stay the same? Do you think they should? Change?
Change. All right. Here's my opinion on that. College overtime rules. Each team gets possession at a specific yard line, 4 downs. If it goes so long, you have to try for 2. NFL is the first person to score a touchdown wins. If that doesn't happen, if the team gets the ball, they score a field goal, they win. Touchdown wins, if not field goal. So my thing is safety. Either you go to the college rules and make each team get a possession starting from the 45-yard line or something, or you make the college rules like NFL overtime. Whoever wins coin toss gets it, and that's it. It's got to be one of those. You either change it or not, because these college kids are developing for NFL. They're going from a completely different overrule system to the new. So I either keep it like the NFL or keep it the way it is. That's my only solution.
Keep it like the college.
Keep it like college.
Or like it is.
Adapt the college ruls or keep it the same.
Keep it as it is. Yeah.
All right, Stoner, let's hear your solution. James, we're talking overtime rules in the NFL during our countdown chatter. Let us know how you would change, if you would change the NFL overtime rules before we get to
Come on, Stoner.
Very simple. What's the reason that there isn't a regular 5th quarter? Why is there not just play another quarter like they do in other sports where they just add on? What's the reason they don't do that in football?
Oh, very nice. You mean
player safety. It's a player safety thing. They don't want these guys who've been banging on each other for a couple hours to go another 15 minutes, right? Okay, fine. So here's your compromise. In the regular season, no overtimes. You can have games end in ties. Who cares? It's the regular season. When you get to the playoffs, you have another quarter. Play it out like it's another quarter. 15 minutes, 3 timeouts. You just play until the time runs out, and who's ever ahead wins. If there's still a tie, then we can talk about let's go from the 25, adopt the college rules or something much shorter. Play another full quarter. That's
Can we shorten that? Can we shorten that since you want to do player safety and it's postseason?
Do 10 minutes.
Can we 10 minutes instead of 15?
Well, I mean, it's 10 minutes now, right? Isn't it 10 minutes?
But it's 10 minutes with the near sudden death rules.
Right. No sudden death rules. Just play
take those out, but do 10 minutes.
Do 10 full minutes. If one team gets the ball on the kickoff and they go all the way down and they take 9.5 minutes, and then they kick a field goal and the other team gets it for a minute and a half or less, and they can't go down because they didn't have time. Too bad. Now you've extended the amount of time that each team has had a chance to either stop or score.
I like
just
that.
Play it out to the end. Just play it out to the end, just like you normally would. In hockey, they do it.
Yeah.
Right? They do
a 3-on-3 now. Yeah.
Well, not in the playoffs. In the playoffs, it's another period.
Yeah.
And you keep going. And then if nobody scores then, you go again. And if nobody scores then, you go again. And you just keep going. Now, it's a little bit different. I understand. It's football. The safety and the issues of just killing each other for 2 hours is different. But hey, 10 minutes. Play it out like a regular quarter. Whoever is winning wins.
Interesting solution. I really feel the only ones who really lost out on Sunday night were us, right? We missed if we had Stoner's rules, we would have seen another quarter of that amazing game between the Bills and the Chiefs where they were just slugging it out. EP says change it to college. Trust the process. How's it going? Hail to the Redskins. Hail to the Washington football team. Hail to, what do you think the name's going to be? Check out our latest video and see why these two above me think it's going to be the Washington Legends. As far as the overtime rules to close out our countdown chatter here, I say keep it the same. You just have to stop them from getting a touchdown, and the Bills didn't do that. We're going to talk more on the playoffs coming up here during our actual show.
I'm a pretty bad kid.
Yeah, let's talk about the bigger picture. Let's talk about how we be ballin', playing with the Wizards. Let's talk about the Nats and how they always got good pitches. Let's talk about the Cats, how Rex can turn them boys to winners. Injuries and updates, oh yeah. To the opponent, we stand toe to toe, yeah. To the top, this podcast gonna go, yeah. I think it's something you should know, yeah.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to episode 53 of Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry. Joining me, as always, my boys, it's Trevor and the Stoner here with me.
What's up?
What up? Can I say something?
You absolutely can. You're saying something right now.
Happy birthday to the podcast.
us.
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, dear Ref
District.
Happy
birthday to us.
In case you couldn't tell, this is, in fact, our 1-year anniversary of the podcast. Technically, the full, real anniversary will come on the 31st, but this is our 53rd, which means we've done a full year's worth of podcasts. So we appreciate the support and all the subscriptions. So much love. Going to shout out those who are in the chat with us because, of course, we stream this live every Wednesday at 7:30 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And then we'll put it out on your favorite audio podcast platforms. So you have a chance. If you don't listen to this live, you're missing out because you have a chance to interact with us. We already have James, EP, Trust the Process, Redskins Weekly, and Aaron and P-Dub in the house. So appreciate those who are already in there and jumping in the chat there. Yeah, that was some interesting seeing to start it off. It is a birthday episode. As you can see here if you're watching the YouTube video, you can see that the warm-up here, we're going to be talking about the NFL Divisional Round recap. The game is, what would it take to get the Washington football team to the NFC Championship? Are they just a QB away? Lots of good QBs left in the playoffs. And then the cool down is happy birthday to Ref the District, our top 5 favorite moments from the year behind us. So Stoner's got his list. I showed him my list earlier. It has not changed. It has not changed. It is
not on my phone because it's 2022.
It is all right here. It is all right here. Let us know what your top favorite moments of the first year of Ref the District are. Just make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We are, of course, sponsored by Pacers Running. For every run, they've got you taken care of. Get those New Year's resolutions settled and taken care of. Just head out to Pacers Running online or one of their 6 stores in the Northern Virginia and DC area. They'll get you hooked up with the right equipment to make sure that you are hitting your goals. And of course, we are also sponsored by the one and the only Sky Bar, opening up in Lexington, Virginia, which we have some news to give that front. Don't we, Trev?
Yes, we do. We have the very first official soft opening of Sky Bar happening this Saturday, January 29th, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. About 45 people, invite only, a couple cocktails, a couple bar snacks, a little music. I'll be making the drinks. It's going down. So
nice.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
We are very excited and proud of you, Trev. Looking forward to going down and having some drinks with you that you pour us. It's going to be really nice. If you're in the Lexington, Virginia area, you're going to have to check it out. Again, soft opening this weekend, but it will be opened up to the public very soon. Check it out, and you can see our man Trev in person. So
when I get my bill, Trev, will it rhyme with hero?
I think so. Yeah, it also rhymes with glee, I believe, as well.
All right. I'm liking this. I can't wait. All right.
EP's awaiting her invite. So just
Fazer. Right. It's been a while since Fazer's been in the house. Nice
all right, let's get this going.
Let's start this off here with a little some more, unconventional chatter here on those divisional games. Amazing weekend of NFL, proving why it is still king and why our Wednesday shows have moved strictly to NFL talk, specifically the Washington football team. But each game ended on the last play.
Yep.
I can't say of regulation because we did hit overtime, which Trev had an overtime dollar bet that hit.
Told you. And you know what I'm really upset about?
But you didn't put actual money on that because that would have been.
I didn't put that in the parlay. It was a plus 1,300.
Was it 1,300? I thought it was like 4,500. It was huge.
It might have been. I don't know.
Maybe even 13,000. It was big. It was big money. That was insane weekend. Probably the best game. Bills Chiefs, right? I mean, did anyone think that was not the best game?
It was. I was going to say that may have been the best game. I hate to say it. Maybe the best game I ever saw. Playoff-wise.
I was going to say that whole weekend was the best weekend of football playoff football I've ever seen in my entire life. Secondly, the Rams Buccaneers was the best game until the Bills and Chiefs played. But that was, because that game, Tom Brady, I was like, here he comes. He's going to do it.
He did look like he was going to come back. When I saw the scores 27-3, I was just like, the Rams are going to mess around and lose this the same way the Falcons did.
That. I never thought that. I was like, oh, this is done.
And it was just incredible how the Rams just kept doing things to allow Tampa back every time you thought they were dead.
People I were watching with, they were like, "Oh, this is definitely rigged. This is definitely rigged. There's no way they fumble in all this time." I'm like,
So somehow Tom Brady's deal with the devil there makes it so he plays his best football and his opponents play their worst. Because my goodness, it's every time just amazing.
I'm gonna switch gears, you guys. Okay. If I would have told you. You guys were out hunting, fishing, do whatever. You didn't watch any football, okay?
Yeah.
I told you the Bengals and Titans were playing in the playoff game. I'm going to say, I don't know the score, but the Titans had 9 sacks against the Bengals. Who do you think would have won that game,
Well, yeah, of course. You definitely think the Titans just pummeled them.
Yeah, but no. How do you lose when you sack a quarterback 9 times?
Well, when you have a guy like Joe Burrow throwing to Chase, Jamar Chase, you just
Ryan
those
Tannehill
9 sacks
to the Bengals.
That too. So
that was huge. And Derrick Henry did not look right. He'd been off for a long time because of the injury, and if this wasn't a playoff game, he would not have played. So he was just not looking healthy. Tannehill's just making bad decisions and bad throws and just, again, allowing the other team in the game. And that's where, and we'll talk about it later when we get to the game, that's where a quarterback helps or hurts your defense when the defense is not even out on the field. He was hurting the Titans' defense by continually turning the ball over and putting their defense in bad situations.
But then they were like,
allowed Cincinnati to come back.
We'll keep sacking Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow kept getting up. 2nd and 18, no problem. Boom, sack. 3rd and 17, no problem. Boom. Like it was just, he just didn't care.
And and there's a lot of irony going on right about now that I just want to take a look at. But going back to that game, did you think, or what was the score of that game? The
19-16.
Yeah, 19-16. Now, that was a relatively low-scoring game compared to the Chiefs and Bills, but it was still entertaining as heck, even though it wasn't up and down the field. But when you get to the Bills and Chiefs, and that was up and down the field, obviously, that was even more entertaining. Offense sells ads, offense sells viewership, all that good stuff. When you see
it's the thing that it's the enticing thing. I would say so. The Cincy Titans game was pretty interesting, even though it wasn't high scoring. The Green Bay San Francisco game was boring as all get out. And actually, the Rams Bucks game was not entertaining until the Bucks started coming back.
Yeah, you're right.
Because that game looked in the first half like the Rams were just gonna blow the bricks off of Tampa Bay. But then Tampa Bay started coming back. That's when that game started getting interesting.
That's what I was going to say. You guys, you're still out there hunting and fishing. The Niners and Packers are playing. I'm like, you guys, Aaron Rodgers is playing. It's at home. It's snowing.
Yeah. Against
Game
San
over,
Fran.
Right? Against San Fran. Game
Jimmy
over.
G. Yeah. Game over.
Jimmy G can't play in the cold below 40 degrees. He's got a broken thumb.
They only managed 6 points of
and
offense.
Then,
so
I mean, it's just
Yeah,
shout out to the defense and special teams. And that's when I'm kind of glad that happened, because that shows other organizations and fans and whatever that special teams is definitely not just returning kicks and lining up to kick a field goal. It's literally blocking the punt. You have to win all three
facets of the game.
All three facets in a game like that.
Yeah,
because Green Bay,
if Green Bay has an average special teams unit and has an average game on special teams, they win. They're going to the NFC Championship.
Exactly.
But they were so bad.
Missed a field goal. They had the blocked punt returned, and they lined up at the last play of your season. Players. You line up with 10 players. Absolutely horrendous.
It's just
shout out to my mom in the chat and Tony from ProTech as well.
Yeah.
James asks, who can beat Kansas City? Let's look ahead a little bit to the games that we've talked about, the divisional round. Kansas City, Cincinnati. Do you think Cincinnati can beat Kansas City? You think they can?
They did it already in week 17, even though it was in Cincinnati. And I know playing in Arrowhead is different in the playoffs. But look what the Bills just did. And I'm not saying the Bills are the Bengals, but they both have high-powered offenses. So I do think that the Cincinnati, because I think the two teams in NFC who are left, I don't think they can beat Kansas City. I think the best team that can beat Kansas City is Cincinnati right now.
So Cincinnati is our last hope to not see, one more TikTok dancing on the sidelines.
Yeah, who's the quarterback for the Chiefs again?
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Another inside joke.
Maybe
what do you think,
one of somebody's top 5. Yes. Yeah. Do you think Cincy has a chance, or any of these teams left, or is it going to be Chiefs winning the Super Bowl?
No, I think they have a chance, but it's not a really good chance. I think the Chiefs are going to be favored, and they should win the game. Their offense is so unstoppable. I can't see. Sure, Buffalo is beating up on the Miamis and the Jets of the world throughout the year, the Washington football team, to get Patriots. Their ranking defensively way up there. Yeah. But they're still a very good defensive team, and they could do absolutely nothing to stop Kansas City. So I don't know how, barring injury, I don't know how anybody stops Kansas City when they're rolling like that. And especially when they get away with a bunch of offensive pass interferences.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying. I'm not crying about it.
There's definitely some questionable no calls.
Not questionable. They were.
Well, they didn't even call the taunting call, so if they're not going to call it that,
yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Which was gangster as hell.
It was. The guy was ahead of him, and he's throwing up the deuces. The peace sign, right? So the whole reason why the NFL put the thing into place, or one of the major reasons why they put the taunting rule in place,
was Ty Hill.
Was because of Ty Hill throwing up the peace sign. And this dude literally does it in the playoff game, like with the guy in front of him.
I think the refs were fans at that moment. They were like, I can't believe I'm witnessing this kind of game right now. And he's really like...
To be fair, as fast as he was moving, they were probably just so far behind the action, they might not even seen it.
Yeah, they might not have seen it.
They were probably further behind than the ref from the Dallas game trying to spot the ball. Okay, they were just...
Hey, did you notice for the game-winning or the big pass to Cooper Kupp in the Rams and Bucks game? Yeah, when they made that long pass, and then they all are running down there to spike it and everything. Did you notice that official who's supposed to touch the ball never touched the ball? Remember the whole thing in the Dallas game was that official had to touch the ball and spot it? He was so far back, he never got there to touch it. Everybody got all lined up, and no official touched it.
No, come on. Rewatch that, because I'm pretty sure Kupp handed the ball to somebody.
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go check it out.
Because I remember that being
I know
part
the
of the
back
big
judge, the back or whatever certain official that has to come from all the way
if you're
behind
in the comment
play?
section, or call us out right now if you have what it is.
I mean, call Stoner out because Stoner's the one saying it. You guys are.
I'm pretty sure a ref did touch. I thought they did. So
not the one that's supposed to. I'm just saying.
Okay, but a ref, at least a line judge, somebody had touched the ball to make sure that the ball was spot by a ref.
It's just shoddy.
I don't know that there is a team left that is going to be favorite against Kansas City. I think they're all going to have, a puncher's chance. I like my personal hope is we see Cincinnati versus the Rams, and that's just because Cincinnati hasn't won one. So it'd be cool to see them in the Super Bowl with at least a chance. And Stafford is a dude who I really wish it would have worked out for Washington to be able to get his services here, because I do think that he would have been exciting to watch for Washington football fans. So that's my personal hope, which means, of course, it's going to be a Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl. So
are we already over Patrick Mahomes and already now is he starting to turn into that villain that nobody wants to like because he always wins and because of his brother and because of his wife and all that? Are we over him? Like we do with our sports stars, like we're doing right now with Burrow and Allen.
I don't care for his family, but I don't really comment on that either. All right.
No, but I mean, are we kind of over him though? I was just
permission.
Go ahead.
Permission to approach the stand, Your Honor.
Yes.
Please approach.
What?
I have evidence. I don't know if I can show it, but they show the replay. Here's Stafford running up. Okay.
Yep.
Now you can see. Now you'll see that referee backing up from the middle of the field. Watch closely. It looks like
from
a referee
behind Stafford.
No, from in front on the Bucs side. You'll see him like backing up towards. That's not
That's not the guy who spots the ball.
But there's two referees. Let's see if one
again,
of them has
I'm pretty sure that I guarantee that they gave the ball to a
They're
ref.
not showing it now. You're past it.
Hold on.
We're past that point.
Okay, here it comes. Oh wait.
Just when we were getting to it, you turned the phone away, so I wouldn't.
EP's ready to turn Patrick Mahomes
against Patrick
into Tom Brady the second here. She really hates Tom Brady.
Here's the deep pass.
So that official is behind. I saw him back there.
Okay.
I saw him back there.
And then
Stafford's going crazy.
And you saw crazy. Stand up.
And you see two referees. See, there's one right there. Right. There's one backpedaling. You think he came up and spotted the ball and then backpedaled? Because Cooper Kupp probably left it there after he caught it.
But what I'm telling you is it's not his job. It's not that official's job. Unless they change the role between Dallas and this week, because that was the whole thing, that the guy from way
just
behind
wanted to screw
has
Dallas,
to run down.
Dallas fans feel.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know, like which ref is it? The actual referee or is it like the one of the ones?
No, I don't know what his official designation is, but he's a guy who's back behind the offense.
That's
he used to be in behind the linebackers back in the day, but they moved him out because that guy was getting pummeled every game by crossing routes and all that. So now they're over there basically parallel with the actual referee, the white hat. Okay, but on the other side. So they're behind the play.
Right.
So that's the guy who has to do it. That's why he came running up from behind Dak, because that's where he is. So this is the same thing. This was a 60-yard play. So I'm just saying.
No one wants to listen to Dallas in here. Dallas isn't in.
Who? Who's Dallas?
Yeah,
the TV show.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. We're gonna move on.
Officials.
We're gonna move on.
Watch that game.
To what would it take to get Washington football team back to the NFC Championship? Coming up here on The Game. It has been 30 years. Jeez. The team with the longest drought is the Washington football team since a conference championship, not just the NFC, just a conference championship game
appearance.
Appearance.
Yeah.
Washington is at the top of that list, having been 30 years since the last time they were there. What in the world is it going to take for them to get back? By the way,
Outside
they're
of-
technically tied with the Lions. That's a team you want to be tied with something, correct?
Yeah, that's who they played that year for
The
it was the
1991
Lions.
season,
Yeah.
who they beat 41-10, by the way.
Yeah, they smoked them.
So what's it gonna take outside of a miracle? Okay, let's see. Well,
Yeah, miracles
obvious-
with the
Bulls, miracles, praying.
So
Yeah.
I'm
all
not
out
gonna
of- out of
harp
the
on it
question there.
because we have all off season 2. We've already touched on it, but outside of the quarterback position, because that's obvious, you need a 10 or more win season to give yourself a true chance, and that's what you need to. Washington needs a legit chance and continuity to get to the NFC Championship. 10-win season. Continuity.
Well, Dallas had a
as in,
12-win season, and that didn't help them.
Well,
So you mean they just need a team
why are
that's
you talking
capable
about
of
Dallas so much
winning.
tonight?
I know. He's a turncoat today. He's
Just
just bringing
Green
up
Bay
the
had
wrong
13.
team.
Green Bay had 13. You could have said
Yeah.
them.
So what I'm doing here is I'm asking you to clarify why 10-win season means they're going to get back to the championship.
We'll be in the conversation at least. We'll be in the
Yeah.
conversation with our arch rivals. I'm not going to mention them because you said them all show.
Okay.
The
All
Green
right,
Bay
I won't.
Packers, the
Yeah.
Bills, Chiefs.
Yeah, making the playoffs is that first
Making
step,
the
right?
playoffs
You
is
at
literally
least
the
got to
chip-
get
like,
there, which is
yeah,
something they
that's-
haven't done consistently in the last 3 decades.
and that's the general answer because obviously we need a linebacker and quarterback position, but like overall, we just need a legit 10-win postseason chance to make it to the NFC Championship.
All right, so I got a question for you, for the two of you. Is this team a quarterback and a few minor tweaks away from a contending team?
Yes.
Contending for Super Bowl?
For an NFC Championship. That's what we're talking
NFC
about.
Championship?
Championship
Okay.
game.
I was like, contending
Up
for
here.
Yes.
Super Bowl? No, not a few minor.
Yes.
I would say the right QB. I mean, you're looking at a Cincinnati team that had the first overall pick, took Joe Burrow. He was injured his rookie season. This year, they're in the they're in the AFC Championship game rather. So that was, I mean, now they did get Jamar Chase, right? So that's maybe
Sure.
maybe not minor. That is a huge playmaker for them.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin.
Can be
definitely-
Jamar Chase if he wants to be. If he had a good quarterback.
If he had a good quarterback, he would at least be putting up great numbers. I don't know if that he's putting up, Jamar Chase's numbers, but he would be exciting. Again, I mentioned Stafford, right? A QB Washington targeted last offseason didn't get. Could you imagine the numbers that Terry would be putting up with a Stafford? Look at the numbers that Cup's
He'd
putting up.
be
Look at the
Jamar
numbers
Chase.
OBJ is putting up. Like you're talking 1,400 yards and 10 plus touchdowns that you would see. So that's all you need is that right QB and you'd get there. Now, that's not the only way to get though, is the QB, as we've seen San Francisco this year. The QB play hasn't been exactly exciting. Jimmy G's not been, he was definitely the worst quarterback out of him and Aaron Rodgers, but he was the one who made it to the championship game. You've seen it in years past. Tannehill's made it. You've seen it with the Jaguars where they've had some horrible QBs that have made it. So it's not like the QB is the only solution. I mean, it's definitely something we harp on and we expect, and that's where a lot of our focus is now, because this team does have defensive pieces. This team does have Terry McLaurin and a rookie De'Ami Brown, who we think that if you get somebody who can throw the ball past 20 yards could be exciting. Curtis Samuel coming back healthy could be exciting. Antonio Gibson's one of the better running backs in the NFC.
Yeah.
He is.
Which is still wild to me, but that doesn't say a lot about NFC running
It
back.
says more about the NFC running back situation
than
anything else.
I'm surprised that you guys said that. I actually am surprised. Now, I agree with you guys. I think this is not a Jacksonville roster. This is not a Detroit, New York Jets roster. This is a very good roster, and they won 7 games with a bottom third quarterback.
Twice.
Right? Well, the other one wasn't Heineke.
Alex Smith was in bottom third in my opinion.
It wasn't just him.
It was on one leg.
There was a lot of Haskins too.
There was a conglomerate of QBs
the position as a whole was below average.
Yeah.
And we still
so
won
this
7.
so this roster has pieces, and you can see what they've done when they were up and they had their 4-game winning streak, and they really had a 6 games that they played very well. If you include see, now I got Dallas on my mind. When you get Denver and Green Bay, and then you had the 4-game win streak. Yeah. They didn't have great quarterback play, but what they had was all the other pieces working well. You had the running game. You had the defense playing well. So, I actually think that this is a team that's a quarterback and some minor tweaks away from being a contender for the championship game. And I didn't think you guys were going to say that. I thought you guys were just going to be like, no, they need everything, and they need this.
No, we're realistic.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, we do need like almost everything, but at the same time, we don't. There
are a lot of needs.
A lot of needs.
The right QB. Let me look. The guy was sacked 9 times.
I know.
So their offensive line is just trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and ours isn't.
And Washington, by metrics, is one of the better offensive lines. So it's just like if Cincy can make it with flaws, but the right QB, if you get the right QB, absolutely they can make it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has dragged the Green Bay Packers to plenty of NFC Championship games. And that's if you look at those rosters, that roster was pretty much Aaron Rodgers and a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are like the Chiefs, who everybody considers them to be the favorite at this point of the last 4. The Chiefs have a lot of warts on that team in a lot of different areas on the offensive line still, which is basically what lost them their Super Bowl last year. And they did a lot to address it, but it's still got warts. Defensively, they have warts. They don't have much of a running game, but all of that is overcome by basically the greatest quarterback on the planet, not named Tom Brady, with Patrick Mahomes, right? So he can overcome all of those warts and cover those and mask those so that you can get to this point and probably go to, is it their 4th straight Super Bowl? No, they're 3 out of 4 years.
4th straight AFC Championship.
4th straight AFC Championship, but 3 out of 4
Super Bowls.
Super Bowls. So he can overcome that. Now, we're not just going to drop in Patrick Mahomes to this team next year, so they have to do some tweaks to other parts, but you can still get to that point really quickly by just getting the right quarterback in here. And we have a lot of quarterback debates. We've had them before. We'll keep having them. But obviously,
that's
if
the
you
obvious
get one,
reason.
you're good.
Yeah. So Redskins Weekly, William Robinson, Tommy T all agree. And James adds, draft a QB in the first round until you find your guy.
We'll talk about that.
Draft one this year, draft one next year, draft one the year after that until they go
keep on drafting.
Until they go 13-3. You got to just keep going for it. I mean, you got to get realistically. He's not wrong though. This is one of the things that I think people get too married to their picks, and you've seen where there's been some success here in the last few years, last 5 years, I'll say, where people have been dumped like Josh Rosen, right? They're like, nope, we're going to take Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen, you're out. Sam Darnold, the Jets moved on from him, right? So I think that it used to be you had to develop. I mean, even Washington with Dwayne Haskins, you picked him up, you tried him out for a season and a half, and you're just like, not our guy.
He can't
moving along. And I think that, so to James' point there, look for that guy, whether or not he's in the draft or whether or not he's free agent. We've been doing a lot of conversations, as Stoner alluded to. Already talked about Watson, Rodgers, and Derek Carr. We're going to push out more. If there's a name that you would like to talk about, let us know in the comment section, because we're going to queue quite a few up here before free agency starts, just to kind of go over, and then we'll go over the draft ones as well as we get closer. But Trevor, you don't want to just focus on the QB, do you?
Nah, man. I'm so sick and tired of talking about these quarterbacks in January when we can't do a damn thing about it, but keep saying over and over again what this team needs in a quarterback. We know
how can you not watch that game Sunday night and think, man, if Washington only had A guy like that.
If we had a Jimmy G who is terrible at times, but he's also led his team to the Super Bowl with a good year. And that pass to George Kittle, I don't care. Drag me. He's not the greatest, but he's not Taylor Heineke. He can throw the ball down the field. He can get it to his tight end. So if we just have somebody who's, knows how to play the quarterback position.
That's why we were excited for Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's like, even if he was going to be Fitztragic, it was just like, hey, there's somebody who's at least above average at QB.
Yeah, exactly. That's what those games, all these games show this weekend. If we just have somebody who knows the position of quarterback and not learning as you go along, because it's his first career start, and he's been playing football for years and years. XFL, CFL, AFFL, flag football, indoor arena, whatever, ODU. You think he would know what it takes to at least play the quarterback position. So, yes, we obviously need that. But I don't want to talk about quarterbacks anymore.
Okay, so Washington doesn't find the quarterback, not the Patrick Mahomes, not the Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers,
Mitch Trubisky or Jimmy G or
Mariota, somewhere along those rounds, like a B-level quarterback.
We have enough.
You think they have enough right now with a B-level quarterback?
We have weapons, and we can add some more minor weapons to help Mariota, and I think we can still get to 10-plus wins because, like you said, Terry McLaurin's a 1,000-yard receiver with 4 different quarterbacks. Imagine if you had a competent quarterback that could get to 1,500. We have Gibby. A better quarterback makes a better running back too. From the handoff to lining up position, anything, calling at the line of scrimmage. You didn't really see Taylor do that a lot. A quarterback makes each position better. It really does, whether it's in the locker room leading or out on the field. So I think we have Curtis Samuel come off injury. He was healthy at the end of the season, but we kept him in the garage. He'll be back. Logan Thomas, assuming he'll be back. I'm just assuming everybody's back healthy. A good, competent quarterback.
Assuming you sign McKissick.
Yeah, a good, competent quarterback that knows his position, who has some good wins under his belt, can make things happen with the weapons around him. I mean, we've seen it happen before.
And I agree. I don't know that you have to do a whole lot to the defense, as Al Capone is mentioning in there, adding to the defense. Sure. Would you like to add some better players?
Free safety is probably the biggest need.
I think maybe a quarterback and a linebacker.
Linebacker is probably the only thing that you really need to focus on. Otherwise, you have good pieces there. They've proven it. They've proven they suck too. True. But again, when you have an offense, a competent offense that is controlling the ball and keeping the defense off the field and not bringing the defense out at their own 30 that they have to defend 30 yards and immediately get scored on, and constantly doing that, the defense will naturally just play better. They just will. And that's what a competent quarterback does for a defense.
And for the offense, a competent quarterback scores points or figures out a way to score points and gets other players involved.
There's a lot of that. Absolutely. We saw this year, right? Where Washington drove the ball and settled for 3 or had to punt because they had Hopkins and they're not trusting him with a 50-yard field goal.
Or Taylor throws a pick or,
something like that where they give it up.
Get in the end zone. He
Taylor
slides
Heineke,
too early.
QBR of 39.8.
Yeah, we can't do that,
season.
Man.
If for those unfamiliar, QBR is on a 0 to 100 scale. So 50 is your average QB play. That's below average QB play.
We can't do
and
that.
Washington
again,
got to 7 to 9. So I think Trev, you have a point there. They get average QB play. They can improve, as Stoner says, and you're saying, and other aspects make some minor adjustments. But I do think that there are some other things that I would like to see. If you don't get A+ quarterback play,
no.
Okay, if you don't get that, if we end up with B-level quarterback play, which we are going to give a rankings to our quarterbacks, well, that video will come out here in the next couple of weeks. But if you get that B tier, then
we can do some things.
I think you need to get some more offensive firepower. I do think that depth is something that's been mentioned in the chat here through our YouTube comments. So I think that's another thing that needs to happen because it's a long season. It's only getting longer, right? They've already added an additional game. If you're talking make it to the NFC Championship game, you're talking at least 2 more games on top of the regular season, if not 3, because it'd be your 3rd game of the playoffs. So, I want to see if you get a B tier quarterback. I think to get to the NFC Championship game, you're going to need some more depth, and you're going to need some offensive playmakers for this team, because I do think that the parts are there defensively. Offensively, you need a difference maker. You need someone who can score from anywhere, despite the fact that the quarterback is hanging them out to dry or maybe not delivering. And I think Terry has some home run ability. But again, there's something different between like Terry and Ty Hill and Terry and Jamar Chase. There's a difference there. I do think you throw Terry open and if he's running that crosser or a slant, he can just burn people. But I think he can also get caught from behind. You're not catching. You can't catch Ty Hill from the front, as we mentioned during the warmup. That dude was throwing up a peace sign to a guy in front of him. So I think getting a difference maker like that could be good for a team that doesn't get that A+ quarterback play.
And I think 2 things, actually 3. To harp on that, I think we have that player, maybe not as fast, but I think we have that in Curtis Samuel, which means I think we need to focus on going out and get a true number 2, because this is going to segue to my next point. I don't want him here. I'm not advocating for him here, but I think if we had a player like Kirk Cousins here, who puts up numbers and points with 2 wide receivers, a good running back. I think someone who wins, but they can win in prime time, obviously. But someone who has his,
has more of those intangibles.
That we could do some good things with that, because if we had Terry McLaurin and, like we mentioned earlier, Mike Williams as number 1, number 2, and then Curtis Samuel as our Tyreek Hill person. And with a B-rated quarterback. At least we'll score some damn points. It'll be exciting to watch.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel and Ty Hill match up in my mind, but
nobody matches with Ty Hill.
They put Ty Hill in the slot on the outside, sometimes out the backfield. We could do the same thing with Curtis Samuel. He's our Tyreek Hill.
Nobody's saying he's as good as Ty Hill.
No, but he's
just saying
version.
You can.
I think more people end up making that comparison between Curtis Samuel and Debo.
Well, that's cool. That's fine.
Out of the 49ers, where he's kind of lined up all over the field, plays running back. Debo's a little bit bigger than Curtis Samuel.
Yeah,
so
same thing.
So we just need a true number 2 because
I think we need to clarify one thing. I know all 3 of us are under the same opinion. We're not advocating to bring in a B quarterback.
No,
we're saying we don't want
for
a
the
B.
stars.
We're not saying we want a B quarterback. We're just saying this team may be stuck with a B quarterback.
Yes.
So what are we going to do with a B quarterback to get us to the NFC Championship game? Everybody wants to have their 10-year future pop in here. Who knows how? We all want that, but it just may not be realistic. So we're trying to look at other options of what we could possibly do with a B-level quarterback.
Al Capone, are you saying T.O.'s trying to come back?
Yeah, he's been saying
Al Capone asks, what do you guys think about T.O., Terrell Owens, just 1 year of T.O.? I'm going to go with no.
He reached out to to Tampa Bay. He was going to reach out to Tampa Bay to see if he can get down there and help Tom Brady out.
AB went out.
And then he posted up a workout video and everything. I wouldn't want him, but I'd like to see him back in the league. I wouldn't want him.
Those to me are, I mean, those, I don't want to say it. Those to me are.
Don't say it.
I mean, stop.
Stop
with the Terrell Owens.
You're the one talking about the rival. I mean, why don't you?
I don't want him. I'm not
just
advocating to bring him back, but he should come back to NFL, just not for a while.
The man is 48 years old.
He can play for somebody else. Tom Brady's 44.
He plays quarterback.
Tom Brady's not running routes.
Care. Tom Brady.
You got to stop with that,
Trey. Bro. I'm not saying bring him to Washington. Why can't I root for it? Why
I'm just saying you got to stop with
the NFL. Why can't I root for that?
You can root for him, but it's insane. You can. Okay. It's just insane to think that that's going to happen or that he could do it. He can't do it. There's a reason 32 teams have not called him up to have him come in and play football for them.
How do we know
There's a reason for that.
How do we know they haven't?
Well, I'm sure the way he does social media, he would have let everybody know that he went to practice for somebody or whatever.
Maybe he'll be in the USFL and we'll see him this spring on Fox. I think it's airing that. Yeah,
shout
enjoy
that.
that.
He sends me wine, so I love Terrell Owens anyway. So shout out Terrell Owens.
T.O.'s fun, but T.O. not so much.
Yeah,
on the,
I mean, come on, just let it go.
Deontay Burt says we're not a QB away. We need a dominant player on D that can take over a game.
We have him. He tore his ACL last year.
I do think a lot of people have soured on Chase.
John Allen's there.
John Allen, I put I think Aaron Donald's
not dominant.
He's in a stratosphere of his own.
He's a Pro Bowl player.
Yeah, and he's very good. He's not dominant.
Jonathan Allen is top tier defensive tackle.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And absolutely can take over a game. Underrated, and I do think Chase Young is going to come back healthy and he's going to come back hungry. And I think a lot of people are writing him off. And I think that's wrong.
I got a double-digit sack season coming up right now for him. I'm telling you.
I will take $100 on that right now.
Where my wallet?
Double-digit sack for Chase Young. How's he going to go? He's not even going to play till probably halfway through the year.
We'll see. We'll see if he plays. If he plays, I'm going to moderate this a little bit here. Yeah. If he plays the full season, he will double-digit sacks. Dollar on that.
No, he's not.
He's having double-digit sacks this season.
All right, you guys have heard it here. You guys.
What did he have his rookie year?
8.
I think 7.5. But okay, fine.
Close enough.
Okay. What did he have last year?
My man argues
through
over
10
half
games.
a sack. I love it.
That's
through 10 games, he had 1.5.
I'm telling you, double-digit sacks.
I'm not arguing he wasn't disappointing this season.
Adrian Peterson. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. 2 words.
Came back for 1,000 yards.
Yeah, but he's done. He had run for 1,000 yards before.
11 double-digit sacks, my brother.
Double-digit sacks. If he plays the full season, we've got the injury in there. You've heard it. Here's the dollar. I like it. We're going to put that one down in the books.
How many games did he play? How many games did he play this year?
He played 9. He started in 9 games. And he got
I'm not
1.5 in 9 games. Okay.
Next Wednesday, I don't hear.
He doesn't even have double-digit sacks on his career.
He hasn't even had it in a year and a half, and yet he's going to get it in 1 year. Okay.
Double-digit sacks.
Now you're making me. Now you're making me bet against. Root against a guy.
Alcatone.
This is a trigger point, this. Al. Oh, it is?
I
thought you hated him.
Tyrann Mathieu.
Who hates the Honey Badger?
I thought Trev did. Trev, didn't you tweet one time that he's overrated?
Just because someone's overrated doesn't mean they're bad.
He's good.
Okay. Yeah, he's great.
He's good.
Williams with you. 10+ sacks.
Thank you, William.
He was talking about him and
Sweat
getting the sack record, the tandem sack record.
They're kids.
And they had like a total of 4.
What did you say when you were a kid? What did you say when you were a kid? That didn't happen?
Next year he's not a kid anymore?
Dream big.
3 years
Dream
not
big.
Anymore.
All right.
3 years you're not a kid.
I could go on and on, but I know.
I know you can.
Chase takes over games. He might not always show up in the stat sheet, but he does take over games, and he can be very impressive. And I think that we will see some good play from Chase his second year.
You can barely get yourself to put an S at the end of that. When you said Chase takes over game, you barely could get yourself to add that it was more than 1 game.
Stoner's a hater. He's bringing up Dallas. He's a
never wanted Chase from the beginning. He wanted Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
of course.
He's still riding.
Justin Herbert was at home just like Chase Young this year too, and you fell asleep on the greatest performance of his lifetime. So you don't get to say anything about Justin Herbert anymore.
I did.
For those watching after the live stream, make sure you comment with what you think Washington football team needs to make it back to the NFC Championship game. Again, currently holding the longest drought with the Detroit Lions. It's been 30 years since they've been there. What will it take to get them back? We've got dominant defense. We've got a dominant player under center. We'll see what actually it will be when they return there. hopefully sometime in the next couple years. But we're going to move on to our cool down, which is happy birthday to Ref the District. It's been 1 year coming up here on the cool down. We've already sang the happy birthday song, so we don't need to sing that again. What we've prepared here, though, somewhat prepared here, is our top 5 moments from our first year as Ref the District.
I think we should go. I think we should go each of ours and start at 5.
Start at 5.
Go down to 1.
Okay.
All right. Because this is great because you guys probably don't even have anything prepped. And so you guys are just going to be thinking of stuff off top of your head.
I do. I have my 5 right here, but I didn't order them. I didn't put them in order.
Well, you got to put them in order. I mean, come on. You got to.
Yeah, you have
don't
to
you know
have
how lists work?
5 to 1. You have to
Lists,
have them
5
5
to 1.
But like they're all equal in my heart.
Oh, good try, Trev. All right. So said they're all equal. I have like 4. I have like 4 honorable mentions.
4 honorable mentions?
Yeah.
Really? Man.
Like,
bronze, gold, silver. All
right.
Let's do it.
Let's not hit those until we get towards 1, okay? Because that's usually when you see the honorable mentions is when you get to 1.
All right.
So, what was your
5th?
Your
number 5. All right,
Yeah.
number 5 for me. I'll let you guys so you can sort yours out while I go with number 5 here. Are you good? My 5, very simple. January 31st, 2021, when the podcast had its very first episode. There you go.
Nice.
That's my 5th most favorite moment of the year was when we started. And for those who don't know the story behind that is...
Don't know the story.
I don't know.
Yeah, where the hell did that come from?
This is
Tony,
tea.
he's a
I
plant.
swear, I'm only drinking tea. This is not...
Don't you know?
Don't you know, eh? So this is this would have been December, or maybe it was early January of last year. I think it was early January.
Early January.
And I was probably doing some hot takes on Twitter, and Nathan DM'd me, and he said...
I was sauced. I was
he was like, "Hey,"
to the wind.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, let's you should do that on a podcast. You should put these hot takes out there or whatever
He
on
said
a podcast."
we should do a podcast.
Yeah, we should do
More
a podcast.
specifically. Yeah.
And then I sent back something, laughing, because Nathan and I have known each other for 10 plus years or whatever. So I just sent like a laughing emoji or whatever. And then he sent back, he says, "No, I'm serious." And I was like, "Okay." So there you go. And that's how Ref the District was born.
And then he messages me the next day or the day after that when I was stone cold sober. Sober. Yeah, Stober. I said stone cold sober. So I was stone cold sober. And he's just like, "Hey, when do you want to talk about this podcast?" And I was like, "Oh, he's serious." I was like,
Yeah.
I was drunk. I'm going to say all sorts of things when I'm drunk. Yeah, that was great.
number 5.
We've started this adventure. That was a very fun moment. Trev, what was your number 5?
It was August 19th, 2021, when I officially became the third voice of Ref the District DC Sports Podcast.
Yeah. August 19th.
Quick story. I was following you guys on Twitter, saw a couple of you guys' videos on YouTube, whatever. Went to training camp, saw the shirts, yelled at you guys, "Hey, Ref the District is here!" So I'm from a small town, Virginia. So when I see like you guys, they're still celebrities in my book, even though you're just Twitter, whatever. So I was like, "Hey, Ref the District." You guys met me, whatever. We linked, we chatted. You guys were going to do a fan episode where you wanted people that you met to explain why they're a fan, yada, yada, yada. I did that. You guys liked my camera stuff, asked me to be a special guest on the rest of your shows for the month. And then the last one of the month, I believe, we're August 19th, is when I officially became.
We're doing a sort of audition where it's just like,
yeah.
And I told you before that first show, even I was just like, "Hey, by the way, we're kind of looking for a third voice, so this could be an audition of sorts."
Yeah.
And I was like, no pressure though. Trev was kind of looking to do some more content creation.
Mm-hmm.
And
because I was just writing articles at the time. That's right, for Full Press, and then
so we were happy to. We really loved and you really gelled. I'm not going to talk too much about it because that may show up later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that may show up later.
Okay.
All right, what was your number 5, Nathan?
The start of our After the Whistle content. So if you haven't checked out our After the Whistle, it's where we talk to sports people, but not about sports. It's about them, about sports related type stuff. But Brittany Wagner was a super fun show. She was great. We went in there with an idea, and that was one of those times. And thanks Alcatel for putting out there that we work well together. That's one of those moments that we just knew, like the three of us, just the chemistry was right there. It wasn't 3 people interviewing one person. It was like one person interviewing one, and it just worked so well. Like we were just kind of jump rope. I had just started watching the show because Brittany Wagner was on your guys's list of woo, this will be exciting. And I'm like, I have no clue who she is, guys. I do research, but
I remember that.
After that one, it was just super. It was great. She was a lot of fun. Appreciated having her on, and it was a great show for all of us. That's my number 5.
Okay.
That one's in my honorable mention. I'll just say that. That's one of my honorable mentions.
Hit your honorable mention. How about your number 4 slot there?
All right,
Trevor.
number 4.
Oh,
gotta mix this up. Gotta mix this up a little bit.
So my 4th one would probably be Into the Thick of It.
That was a fun moment. That was a great moment.
It's on Instagram everywhere. You can go back in previous episodes. But Stoner was explaining something, and he said "Into the Thick of It," and that was a famous song from, I guess, the Backyardigans kids show and a TikTok sound at the time. It was popular at that time, and I started singing it. Stoner had no clue what it was. Nathan is always on point. He knows. We're right here when it comes to. But Nathan, Stoner had no idea, so we had to tell him about it after the show. I thought it was hilarious because
that's a good one.
We've had a couple of those. The Stoner short was one that Alcatone mentioned earlier. I'm assuming that's the QB one because we've had a couple of shorts. Yeah, some of those are a lot of fun. That Into the Thick of It though was just off the cuff. Just so fun. We like cutting up those fun moments for people. That one was definitely worth it.
Good one.
My number 4 was hitting 500 subs. That was a goal that we set for ourselves. It was something that I'm very proud of the work that we put forth, and we do. And so being able to be rewarded with something like setting a goal and hitting that goal was very rewarding to me. So I'm very proud of us. So that's my number 4.
That is a good one.
Stoner?
My number 4 was the live reaction when Trev and I were doing a live reaction in Atlanta.
That was
for the Atlanta game. We weren't in Atlanta for the Atlanta game. And Nathan had been out all day and missed most of the game, and he just popped in, and he didn't have a TV to watch the game, but he popped into the live. And then and then J.D. McKissick, or Taylor Heineke was running around, and then we were like, oh no. And then he throws it to McKissick, who runs it all the way. And me and Trev just lose it. And Nathan doesn't know what's going on because he can't see. He just reacting to our reaction.
Reacting to your guys' reaction. It was my favorite part of that was just this I don't like that. I don't like that too. Yeah. I like that. Like it was just I'm sitting here because you guys were hilarious because Stoner was just like, nope, because Taylor Heineke leaks out to the left and he was just like, I don't like that. And then he dumps it off to JD McKissick with all the room in the world. Yeah. And Travis immediately was like, I like that. And then Stoner just right afterwards, I like that. So it was a fun moment to watch.
That was my number 4.
Yeah, that was a good one. My number 3 was our fan episode. I always appreciate it when we can grab people to be a part of the show. So that's why we do these live, is we like to have the interaction with our people who listen. And if you've ever commented on one of our videos that's not live, you'll see that we're in there making comments and stuff. We enjoy interacting. And the fan episode was one. I really wanted more. Like when we set that up, like we thought this was like, we were thinking we were going to get like dozens of people, and we had quite a few, but it was nice. And Trev, you mentioned it, you were in there, so yeah, that was a fun episode. I enjoyed doing those, and I think we have a few more on the horizon too.
Yep, that was another one of my honorable mentions.
Just hitting all the honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
So number 3, you go.
Number 3 for me was our Washington Monuments video where we dubbed over the Making the Brand video of Jason Wright and Coach Rivera sitting in the office, where they blurred out the audio of what they were saying, a name that they liked, and we replaced it with the word monuments to make it sound. And then we put it out there, hey, we found the leaked audio and here it is, and we put it in there, and it got a lot of response, and including from Jason Wright himself, who played along right with us and was like, hey, you're going to be hearing from our lawyers and all that, which was a lot of fun. So that, I think that was my number 3 moment.
What was your number 2 moment?
Number
I'm going to 3.
No,
so you already lost track of who's where. Trev, give us your number 3.
It is the episode where we butchered Patrick Mahomes and Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's name over and over. All 3 of us could not pronounce their names. I thought that was like one of the most genuine chemistry showing moments that we had. It's like off the cuff, like, wait a minute, hold on. We can't let you get away with this. What's it? We all a different way each time we said it. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, like I can't even do it. So I just thought that was hilarious.
I think we got a clip of that one too out there. So that one we'll have to share. Some of these top moments we'll have to share and lead up to the actual birthday and the community tab. That would be fun for people to.
I just felt like I knew I was like, you guys were family. I was like, okay, I can't talk. These yahoos can't talk. We're made for each other. Let's do it.
I love that you're using yahoos now too. I love that this is universal.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So are we on number 2 now?
We're number 2 Stoner for you. And my mom in the chat there did mention the Stoner pretending to be Matt Rule, the coach of the Carolina Panthers.
I forgot about that one too.
That one was a special one.
Park my car. All right, number 2.
Cam Mingo. No, it was Tony. Tony was the one who brought up who brought that up in our on Twitter, right? He was like, Matt Rule's made some good points.
I don't remember who that was, but
it was Tony, I believe.
Oh yeah, Tony Shivers
Tony Shivers,
yeah. Okay, so my number 2 has already been talked about, and my number 2 was when Trev joined the show. That was a huge moment that kind of changed where we were going, I think. It changed the trajectory of the show. I think it gave this show a whole lot more credibility, and because it's not just a couple of old white guys talking about things.
Old? Who
so, okay. One old white guy, one not so old white guy. So there you go. So I think that was a huge moment, and I'm super, super duper glad that Trev is a part of this show. And now Trev is our friend. Trev is our brother. Yeah. Because of that. So
absolutely.
That was big. That was my number 2. Sorry, Trev, you couldn't be number 1.
It's all right. I know I'm number 1 in your heart, but just not for the list. For the
That's right.
At least this list he mentioned you, unlike the previous list.
I was just like,
I got grilled for that too.
No, it's all right. You're good. Number 2.
My number 2 was, I'm going to stick kind of with my thinking here, was kind of more along the lines of like some of the monumental things we did. There, see that monuments? No. Okay. I'm going to go with the draft episode. Was that one was a huge undertaking. So
yeah, it was.
We're going to do that again. I'm going to promise that 100%. Live here right now. So if you did miss last year's, what this was is we did a mock first round draft. We grabbed people from as many of the fandoms and podcasts of the other teams in the first round that we could. And the week before the draft, because we wanted as close to the draft as possible, we held a mock first round draft. They sent in videos, and we did the whole draft on that Sunday before the draft. So this year, we have a Wednesday show, and then we're going to do it again. And that's going to be the Wednesday before the draft. We're going to have as many, content creators from the other teams. They're going to make their picks because they're going to give us insight, and they're going to know exactly. It's not just, somebody from Washington trying to line it up and being like, hey, this way we can get Pickett, or this way we can get Malik Willis and stuff like this. No, it's going to be actual people who understand the game getting in there. And so that one was a really huge undertaking. I don't think we thought it was going to be that big. Like, we knew it was going to be big, but we didn't realize it was going to be as big. And so being able to pull that off, I think really gave us some energy to keep doing some of the bigger shows that we had planned in there.
And by the way, that particular show, I was in the Philippines in a hotel room doing that live at, I don't know, 7:00 in the morning or something like that.
Very early in the morning.
Didn't have great internet.
We're using our old platform, so I'm having to I have all sorts of buttons to do.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
It was a lot.
Also in my
honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions, yes. Absolutely.
Wow. All right, my number 2 moment is being a part of the No Voice Goes Unheard series that's part of our After the Whistle, because it actually gave me, you, Stoner Nathan, a chance to be involved without being involved in a professional way, and also helping these ladies and other victims of the Washington football team scandal get their voice heard, rather than just using it for clout. I just want to say we did not have that program for clout. We genuinely are trying to help get these voices heard. So it was just an honor to be a part of something that is so nationally, known and respected around. So it's just all around great project for us. I'm glad I was a part of that.
Cool. So that's a good one.
Yeah,
all right.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good. I agree.
Sorry.
I agree.
I wish I was a bigger part of that, honestly. That's an amazing job. There's things, but
podcast, you are. Yeah.
And on top of that, we've got an update coming very soon on that series.
Oh, yes.
It's coming within the next 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. We have an episode 5.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Are we ready for number 1?
Ready for number 1? Start with you, Stoner.
Yeah.
All right. My number 1 moment, and this is a very selfish and personal moment for me. Okay. You guys know how much I love the Sports Junkies, right?
Oh, I knew it.
I have loved them forever. For 15 years, I've listened, as I said on that particular show, I've listened to every single podcast episode they've ever put out. So I'm just a huge fan. And to be able to get Eric Bickle on our Day After Reckoning after the game 1 against the Chargers, to get him on the show to talk football was a huge deal for me personally. Not for the show so much, but just for me, it was a huge deal. And we've had him on twice. We've had JP Flame on twice. We've had Cakes on once. But that particular moment when we had Eric Bickle on for our Day After Reckoning after the Chargers game was my number 1 particular moment. You guys made fun of me because you noticed when we started,
so
I had a new haircut and everything, and I was all looking all slicky.
I could smell the cologne through my AirPods.
That was a big moment for me, just because I'm a big fan of them, and so that was my.
The shout out the next day was really good.
Oh, the shout out was amazing. Yeah, on the radio.
It was great. No, yeah, it was. It's been good to have the junkies on with us, like a few times that you said. We'll probably continue to have them on. We've built a bit of a rapport with them. Seem like great guys. I know Stoner's a huge fan, and I'm a big fan of them because they seem to be big fans of us, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
Trev, you're number 1.
So my personal number 1 is just evolution of the Ref the District podcast. At least from when I started, we have come so far in less than a year since I've joined, and I think that, and we're still going, and I think that's amazing, and I think it shows the hard work and dedication that we put behind this podcast to make sure that we give out the best product every week that we do it. you guys who are listening and watching. There's so much behind the scenes doing a podcast. I know it looks like it's just
love
like
and work that goes into
get
this
a
channel.
camera, get a laptop, a microphone, and software. No, it's way more than that. Like way more, and it takes a lot of hours, a lot of strenuous hours and time and patience. And I just want to say that the way that we have evolved from August, from OBS was the platform.
Yeah, OBS.
Where it's just three squares on the screen. I was talking through my AirPods, stealing like a t-shirt on the wall backdrop, and now to where like movies and ads and banners and better graphics and better decorations.
EP changed my background, so I'm a little bit more legit too.
I don't have to say burger. We used to say burgundy and gold. My microphone would cut in and out. Like now, there's none of that. So like, it's just the way that we have gone from that in August to January. It's just amazing to me because this is all still brand new to me, even though I've been watching and listening to podcasts for a while. So I just really appreciate what we've done, and we're not done yet.
Nope.
Got
as Marcus Peter says, I think we aren't done yet. I think we aren't done yet. So yeah, that's my number.
Yeah, there's been a lot of evolution to the channel, not just the programming, but also some of the things. And we've been learning more and trying to do things. Lots of behind the scenes, lots of work, as Trev mentioned. So we're dedicating a lot more time to the channel, producing content for the channel. You'll see that if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. In fact, we're actually, after we finish this episode, this is our podcast episode that we record on Wednesday. We're actually, once we do this, we're moving over to a different recording, so that way we can record something for the Wizards. So you can look forward to that. And I'll tease a little bit more on that in a bit. My number one.
We already know your number one. Yeah,
it's Trev joining the podcast. He told you about meeting us at the
training camp,
the fan day and training camp. That was for as innocuous as that was, right? Where it was just kind of like you said, there's just like, hey, ref the district, and we're like, hey, cool, getting to meet you and stuff. To it was simple. But then, like I said, we were like, hey, why don't you come on the show? By the way, we're looking for another voice. You were looking to jump on some more shows. And as Stoner mentioned, the friendship, the really kind of the family bond, you and EP being brother and sister from a different mother. So there's that to me, the building of the relationships, and even for Stoner and I in that regard, we've known each other for a decade, but this has brought us closer. So that's my number one in my book, is the relationships that have the bonds that we've built over the course of the show. Getting all touchy feely.
No, it's cool. I was gonna say, it feels like I've known you guys longer than just August. Like for real, I feel like I've been you guys
6 months.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. We've done a lot in 6 months, you guys.
We have. We've been busy.
We've done a lot. So
and speaking of doing a lot, my last honorable mention that hasn't been mentioned is our Deshaun Watson video.
Yes,
that kind of opened my eyes into what we're capable of. Right? Because for me, it was kind of like we're kind of not struggling's not the right word, because we're having fun what we're doing.
Yeah, we're getting by.
Yeah, and then I was just like, I don't know what we have to do to kind of take that next step. And then the Deshaun Watson video opened my eyes to what we're capable of doing. And it is going to take some time and more hard work. So that was a seminal moment from this past year that's maybe not necessarily top 5, but it was a big deal.
Yeah, it's on my honorable mention list as well. I chose Brittany Wagner over the Deshaun Watson video.
I would have done that too.
Yeah, Brittany was a lot of fun. Shout out to those who are in the chat. We have Matt Nagy in the house.
All right,
excited.
Need a job, Matt? Come on down.
Paulie's in the house. Outlaw King 757.
Hey, Paulie. I know who that is now.
Redskins 007 in there as well. We appreciate everyone who's joined us today. Let us know what your favorite ref the district moment has been in the last year. We'll post some of our highlights in our community tab, so keep an eye out for those. This is going to conclude episode 53. Of course, we're sponsored by Pacers Running and Skybar. Check them out. Opening up very, very soon. They've got the soft open this weekend there. Hey, shout out to Steve from Washington Football Addicts, and congratulations on being nominated for the ProTech Sports Award.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
You can catch us every Wednesday from 7:30 to whenever this ends. Right now, we're going about an hour and 14 minutes right now. Yeah. This is our flagship program. Of course, as we mentioned, we create content for the channel, so you can catch a lot of stuff out on our YouTube. In fact, we are going to close this down and recording how in the world the Wizards have lost that godforsaken game. They were up by 35 points.
I know how.
Trade them all. Just trade them all. We're going to record that right after this show. So you'll check that out tomorrow morning. It'll be live on the channel, so you can catch that then. But until next time.
What?
Be a fan.
We love Washington, and we some die-hard fans. Yeah, we are. You know we keep it on 10. Let's talk about the offense. 1, 2, 3, let's go. And they gifted. We are ref the district. Podcast. Come on now and join us. You join it.